Hello and welcome to this MBL Seminars webinar. In this session, I'll be looking at the 2025 company size limit changes, the threshold limit changes which are coming into effect in 2025, and just going through all of the kind of practical implications around that. One of the first questions I've actually been asking in any training session has anyone been through this before? Because this isn't the first time we've changed the thresholds. They do routinely go up. Previously, they went up in line with changes coming in from the EU. So we were kind of governed by whatever they were doing. They would set it in euros and we would bring in the kind of closest reasonable GB pounds equivalent. We are now obviously detached from that, but it is still the same case. The Europeans have put up the limits, so we've responded accordingly. My name is David Potts and I will be taking you through just what are the highlights of this particular change in the legislation. So in terms of the programme for this brief session, I will first just remind you of what are the new size limits. Many companies will probably not be affected at all. As is always the case, there will be a number of companies who will be able now for the first time to qualify for a smaller category, and I will go through how that transition process works with a few examples, both the kind of negative and the positive side of what that change can mean and what kind of things you can practically do about it. I will go through the other elements of the exemption criteria because it's not just about the size limits, but actually a lot of that is unchanged because it's been considered it is a bigger, broader kind of legal point which will be addressed separately with the kind of a more full consideration of the implications. And then finally, I will take you through just what is therefore a brief summary of what you're going to obtain by way of benefits at each of the various levels which are granted some kind of beneficial reporting treatment under this framework. So with some great fanfare, actually, the new thresholds were announced in 2024. They were announced by the previous government with this kind of proud boast that we had increased the limits in some cases by at least 50%, sometimes by more than 50%, with the kind of little slight that, that was more than the Europeans had done.